Hi. Do you know about ChatGPT? Today, I am going to tell you about some bad sides of ChatGPT that could affect future generation. Let's start the video. In case if you don't know what ChatGPT is, then ChatGPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformer, is a natural language processing model developed by OpenAI. It is an AI system designed to generate human-like conversations by using a large training dataset of conversations. It is trained to understand and generate conversations in the same way that humans do, using natural language processing and machine learning. Chatbot is the future of education, right? Well, not necessarily. Chatbots can be a great tool for kids with disabilities or learning, but they can also be used to target kids and get them addicted to screens. So, you have a chatbot. You're using it to communicate with your customers and interact with them in real time, right? Well, maybe not. The truth is that many companies are using chatbots to automate their marketing campaigns and push ads at people who might be interested in buying products from those companies. This can be very bad for kids because it means that companies will be targeting kids with ads for things like candy or toys based on whether or not they have already shown interest in those things before, which is why I don't recommend doing this. In addition to this potential problem, there's also evidence that shows how bots may not help people learn better than humans do when used by teachers as tools for teaching lessons about math or science concepts through games like Candy Crush Saga. Our kids are already addicted to screens, and this will make it worse. It's like Pokemon Go for chatting with friends, except it encourages children as young as 8 years old to use their phones for hours on end. It encourages our kids to ask people questions that they don't think are important, like who's their favorite superhero. Chatbots will encourage our kids to ask questions that they think are important, but actually aren't. This can lead to a lot of confusion when the chatbot's answers are not helpful or accurate. For example, if your child asks who their favorite superhero is and you respond with Spider-Man, it might seem like you're being helpful, but actually this information is not very useful because it doesn't tell her anything new. She already knows all these things about Spider-Man. It would have been more helpful if you'd said something along the lines of, "What do you want to know about him?" which would allow her then respond with what she thinks about him. Kids will lose the ability to interact face-to-face with others, which is so important for development. Chat apps can make it harder to learn how to interact with others. When kids are using chat apps, they don't have the opportunity to practice what they've learned in person and socialize with other people. Chat apps can be addictive. Kids may find that they can't stop using these apps after school, and this can interfere with homework and other responsibilities. Chat apps can make it harder for kids to learn how to interact with others in person. They won't learn how to speak properly because they'll have the impression that computers can do everything better than them. ChatGPT is not a substitute for human interaction. It cannot teach you how to speak properly, and it cannot teach you how to interact with others. You won't learn how to socialize, nor will you learn the etiquette of using a phone or computer. The biggest problem is that ChatGPT has no way of detecting whether or not someone is being rude by typing at them without any response from the other person, which leads many people into believing that they're being rude when they aren't. ChatGPT is a great way of communicating with people you don't know, but it's not the best way to learn how to socialize properly. If you want to learn how to be polite and interact with others, then I suggest getting out there and talking to real people. Human interaction will teach you more about etiquette than any program could ever hope for. ChatGPT is going to make our kids lazy. If you have ever used a chatbot, you know how often they get stuck on stupid questions and don't understand your answer when you're trying to help them out. If they are not able to interact face-to-face, then it's unlikely that they'll have any social skills that are useful in real life. Chatbots will make our kids less intelligent. It's easy for chatbot systems like Google Assistant or Siri to understand what we say, because these programs use machine learning algorithms that learn from millions of examples without human intervention or guidance. However, if we want our children, future generations' brains developmentally healthy as well as mentally strong, so they can grow up thinking independently without being dependent on technology, then having access only through social media platforms would be detrimental. It's easy to see why ChatGPT is a problem for kids. It's a distraction and can be addictive, which means that people are spending more time on chatbots than they should. This means less time spent playing outside or doing other things that benefit children's health and well-being. In fact, research shows that using social media makes kids depressed, lonely and unhappy. Chatbots also have an impact on education because students spend so much time interacting with their peers via text messaging instead of participating in class discussions or even attending school at all. This means less attention paid to instruction by teachers as well as poor grades on tests due to lack of knowledge retention skills gained through these activities, if any. The most obvious question is, why not just block chatbots? This is a good idea, but it does not solve the problem because kids can easily get around it by using their cell phones to access ChatGPT. So we're already seeing some of these issues with chatbots, and chatbots are only going to get better. There are many ways we can reduce the negative effects of this technology, but I believe that the most important thing you can do is make sure your kids know what's happening with them and why it's important for them to stay human. If we don't stop this now, our children will never be able to enjoy their childhoods because they'll have lost touch with who they really are. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing and sharing this video with others. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Have a great day.